I believe it's such a great feeling when you do have a lot of time and you choose not to procrastinate because you choose the grind, you choose yourself, you choose building the best version of you. And I believe it's one of the great feelings that you can have if you want to achieve great things in life and you are in the phase of building that dream life that you want. So I struggle with procrastination a lot, and during these days I'm able to focus on doing the work as much as I can. Like, I barely feel the need to procrastinate, and I'm here to show you the steps that I follow into craving hard work and hate procrastination. Like, my brain is addicted on hard work and I'm loving this phase. So first of all, I will say that the biggest lever that changed everything is having a huge amount of unsatisfaction. And this advice may seem very basic, but if you are constantly finding reasons to be okay, to be comfortable in your life and to chill, you won't evolve. If everything is okay, it means that nothing needs to change, and nothing changes if nothing changes. The thing is, my life started to change when I got into a breakup, when some situations in my life, personal, started to happen, and I said that I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through these phases again because it had specific reasons that I could change. I could do something about it. It wasn't not only about things that I couldn't control. And I realized that, okay, if I had a little bit of money, things would be different. If I had XYZ, things would be different. And then I started to be more addicted to the grind. So find reasons to be more unsatisfied. Find reasons in your life to be the reason that you need to change. It needs something that deeply makes you angry, deeply makes you pissed off, that you want to change, that you want to work towards your goal. And I think it's one of the best acts you can have. And once you find that anchor, that anger that motivated you to change, there's the second step. If you want to build a personal brand or a business, you are in the journey for this. Second, you're going to look at your bank account every morning. It's the best hack you can do, because I realize that most part of the time when I'm going through my day, I forgot my bank situations. Like, if I wake up in a rush and I go into daily tasks and yada, I might not have a motivation in mind or a clear reason why I'm doing that, and I might easily fall off and stop doing the hard work. So the best thing that I do these days is looking at my bank account every morning, and it reminds me during my days, during my activities, that I need to get my dream version of my bank account. I need to have so much money that I can have freedom to do anything I want. And it might look something that it doesn't have a lot of impact because you're just looking at your bank account and you mentally know you are broke, but it doesn't work like that. Because if you see that every morning, it's going to motivate you into making more money. So the more you see it, the more you get that motivation every morning, the more you work towards increasing that. And the dopamine, when you start increasing, it will be so good that you won't want to stop. So yeah, look at your bank account every morning. And the third steps, after you understand this basic principle, you're going to change your digital environment. So in 2024, I changed Instagram for X Twitter, and at the time I was just trying to be a video editor, but I realized that your digital environment, where you spend your time in, affects the most. In my perspective, I think Instagram has a lot of delusional talk. I really got better and I really improved my life once I started getting to X Twitter to see motivational content, or content that is, how can I say, is educational content. X changed my view on educational content. So I don't like reels anymore about hard work, about motivation and stuff, because they have like a lot of dopamine that it's trying to spark your brain. But in X, is boring. It's just a text, it's just something plain, and it doesn't affect your dopamine in your system, because if the person writes a good stuff, it's a good stuff. So changing Instagram and TikTok for X Twitter is the best thing. You can change Instagram and TikTok for X Twitter, school communities and Discord communities, and if you do spend more time there, you will find people that are killers and they want to do hard work, and they will put content in front of you that will inspire you to do more hard work instead of procrastinating. Because if you do spend time on Instagram, you're just gonna see these reels motivate you, you'll feel high and yada. But when you are in school, when you are on Discord, when you are on X Twitter, the people there are working, so they are motivating you to work. They are not just there trying to create motivational content or stuff, trying to seem like they're working. They're actually doing stuff, and that changes the whole thing. And I believe it's what you need most. Be in a space where people are working, where people are grinding, and access that place. LinkedIn is that place too. It will depend on your personality and what you are searching. So I would recommend you go to these places. And the first thing that I like to do these days to avoid procrastination is always in motion. So in the past, I had the habit of always, when I had a lot of time, when I finished my tasks, I would tell myself like, yeah, I will go and watch a movie, watch an anime, or just do something that I wanted to do for a long time. And sometimes I used to neglect social time for this. But what do I do these days is I created the always in motion concept, that I avoid as much as I can stay at home or make my home a habit for hubs with friends, like we chill there or something like that, because I realize that that makes me procrastinate more. So when I do have a lot of time in my day, I don't work all day, of course, so I work till, let's say, 3 p.m., and once it's 3 p.m., I do my home stuff like washing the dishes and all of these stuff because I live alone. And after I do everything that I have, I go for walks, I read books, and I try to bet on social interaction that has favor for me. For example, I hang around with people that I know that are my vibe. We go and jump some stuff, like we have quality time. I don't go out there and drink with people. Sometimes I go for a walk with friends, sometimes I go for a walk alone. And it's such a great stuff when you create this always in motion concept, that either you go on a walk alone, either you go do stuff alone outside, or either you go out with friends. So like I avoid trying to consume like a lot of digital content, and I only focus on learning on YouTube and all of this stuff that I will develop soon. So I do as much as I can to avoid staying in my home or trying to process or having that lazy habit of being the TikTok, the guy who would just watch movies and is just there watching Netflix. So I avoid a lot of that. I avoid a lot of these habits, and I focus on always things in motion, going for walks, or I can go train something, I can go do something. I try to do always something out of just staying home and doing nothing, because that's when the demons come in. That's when they can catch you and you will get in a low back again. So the fifth step goes along with this. Once you have all of these in place, you're going to start changing your consumer habit. Instead of using platforms as YouTube for entertainment, you're going to create separate accounts. You're going to follow 1 to 2 people, and you're going to only use YouTube as much as you can for learning, and you're going to avoid using YouTube to see entertainment. Like you're going to use another account, but use YouTube mostly for learn. Choose 3 to 5 people that you trust the most. Avoid listening to every advice. I have a video where I talk this, where I get in depth about this, and the card is up there. So avoid listening to every advice. Avoid distractions. Avoid everything. Make your consumer habit of learning, because your environment, what you consume, will dictate what you do. And if you're out there trying to consume every content about making money and every content about building a business and yada yada yada, you're not going to make progress. So filter the information you consume and change your consumer habit. Focus on learning, and these will make your brain crave more hard work, because you have a lot of information you want to apply, you have ideas, you are always in motion, you see your bank account every morning, you are dissatisfied. Why would you want to work hard? And to boost more of this feeling, I have the sixth step, that is cutting the noise. The thing that helped me the most in my life, and I didn't realize it, is cutting people that are not beneficial for me. So friends that are not really your friends, you will have to cut. People that are not there to support you, you will have to cut, bro. You have nothing to lose. They are not really your friends. So if you see that your friends, instead of pushing you into becoming better, I'm not saying that they should be on self-improvement, they should be that kind of friends of grinding. I'm talking about their habits. I'm talking about who they are as a friends, and if they inspire you to become someone better or not. They don't need to be on self-improvement. They don't need to be this kind of special friends. All they need are healthy friends that push you into something you like. You need to feel good and feel that they're taking you into someplace better, and these are the kinds of friends that you need to bet on. And the woman that you are with, you have to analyze. I'm not saying that you have to analyze ever green flags, ever red flags, or ever green flags. You will have to analyze if this woman is pushing you forward or not, and you're going to be more serious about this decision, because they will massively impact your progress. And if you do not take this serious as a consider, and if you neglect this, these people will push you backwards. I can guarantee you that. So cut the noise, cut the people, things that are distracting you, and focus on what you want to achieve. And this will lead to the seventh and last step, that is decisions. Make decisions fast and never go back if you can. Sometimes I realize that making decisions slower is what makes me procrastinate. And when I make decisions faster, they probably make me procrastinate. So I would recommend you make decisions fast. And if you understand that you failed after a while, you can go back. But most part of the times, try to not go back. Try to face the consequences of your decisions if you do not have a downside on the other side. So make decisions, fail with your decisions. Get the habit of doing fast and failing, and stick with decisions, because this makes a lot of difference between moving forward and not procrastinating. Because if you take long to take decisions, if you take a lot of time, you're going to start procrastinating even more, and you will not stop this habit, and you will not crave hard work. So make decisions fast, and get into the habit of grinding. And from this video, the applicable step that I want to give it to you is make decisions first of starting to implement these habits and never go back. And if you do have any doubts and questions, ask in the comments and I will answer everything.